not unusual that we get high tides in this area. After all, we're pretty close to the Thames barrier, and the Thames is a tidal river. But it makes you wonder whether we're going to see a repeat of the floods of 1928 or 1953. Well, I shouldn't be too complacent, but it's impossible to predict these sort of things. It's all down to chaos theory. Now we've crossed to the other side of the river. Let's see what the tide looks like from there. As you can see, no difference, just that we're on a higher embankment. But what would happen if we were, if there was a flood? All major centres of industry and commerce, which you see in front of you, would be flooded. Their IT systems would be damaged, trade would be lost, and I wouldn't be surprised if the council actually was made to take these over for survivors, refugees. Okay, not just, I mean, local residents you see nearby would be would instinctively find their way here. Anyway, anything you see in front of you would have to be occupied by people from the council. Even the shopping malls down below will be flooded. As you can see, those luxury apartments behind me are possibly the only high ground in the area when the Thames barrier bursts, if it ever does. If we are to see a repeat of the floods of the early 1950s, these would paradoxically symbolise necessity, not luxury, for they will be the only high ground available in the area. You can use these for I bet if the area were flooded, I bet you could use that to help search and rescue.
Yeah, well this is what I've got, it's just this is what they're using them for. And it's basically just a live video link. It looks a bit shit on the laptop, I don't think it's capturing it.
Yeah.
But the idea is kind of eventually you'll be able to just fly kind of with.
So what does that plane say about possible flooding? Nothing in itself, but it can be used for potential search and rescue efforts. It can trap people stranded and even on higher ground, as you can see behind me. If the Thames flooded, the only higher ground could be the buildings behind me. Those are the search and rescue tools profiled. Even these camera locks you see in front of you wouldn't be able to hold the tide. They would be much like King Canute when he tried to prove that he could control the tide. He wanted to prove he couldn't do that, only Jar could.